AI is not going to replace Power BI developers, but the job you learned a few years ago, it probably doesn't exist anymore. In this video, I want to talk about why AI is changing the way we work, whether it's actually going to replace Power BI developers, and where this whole thing is probably heading. In the last 6 months, a lot has happened. I started using Claude, skills became a thing, and even Microsoft launching their own agentic development skills. For example, the Power BI report authoring skill that allows you to create reports simply using AI, which is fantastic. It changed the way I work, I create measures, set up relationships, the way how I basically interact with Power BI. So this skill went from a niche thing to actually something people are using every day in personal work, but also client work. So it has a huge impact on the Power BI development. And here are the things where I think Power BI and agentic AI is actually a good combination. For me, when it comes to creating measures, setting up tables, relationships, creating descriptions for your measures, those are real pain points that were very slow if you would do it by hand. Or think about aligning visuals, creating all these buttons, bookmarks, anything can be automated right now. If you would do it by hand, maybe you have one bookmark, a few buttons to take care of, it's fine. Once you create like 6, 7, maybe 20 pages, 5 different reports, you're slowly starting to feel, okay, this is a lot. And exactly here, can AI actually help you? This is where it's really useful for speeding up Power BI development, and you can free up some time. But not only it's good at creating measures, let's also think about the step before creating the report. You can now create mockups. I like to use Figma or simple HTML documents to showcase a prototype to a client before doing the actual work. This helps me and the client to align on the requirements, and we all get a better understanding what filters may be needed, what views may be needed, what visuals may be needed. And this is exactly where AI can already help you as well, not just at the report building itself, but even on the step before. However, the main problem when it comes to AI adoption is when you take it from a mockup that you do in your own environment to a company environment. There are security standards, there are data privacy issues, there are tool issues. So not every company will have Claude access. So there are real limitations, and you need to be aware of those. So it is nice that you can create reports in a matter of minutes with AI, but if your company does not allow you to have this setup, or if there's simply concerns about data privacy, then this will not be an option, and you need to look for ways how you can actually make it work. And I think this is one of the biggest challenges that we are currently facing with the agentic AI development, taking it from a prototype to a company-wide solution. That requires a lot of thinking, security protocols, and applying best practices when and what to share with AI. Now let's go back to the question from earlier. Will it replace a Power BI developer? So will AI take over your job? And in my opinion, this is not a cost argument. From the skill, from creating the measures, from creating a dashboard, of course, this is easy and fast. However, the real reason is business context that keeps you in the job. You know your definitions, you know the business rules. AI has a good way of creating reports, but it doesn't know what good looks like, for example, when it comes to design or following best practices in terms of how do we actually conduct our business. AI does not know this. Of course, if you teach AI and more about your business, it becomes smarter with more context, of course, but it does not replace the human instinct for what is good judgment. And this is the critical part where I think why Power BI and AI go hand in hand, and it's not replacing your job. However, if you don't deal with AI, if you're not following the latest trends, it may be possible that others will take over and take advantage of AI, and you simply stay behind if you don't use it. So this is my recommendation. You don't need to follow every trend, every AI adoption, but you need to stay on the top of your game, basically, and follow the news about agentic development and stay up to date with what's happening in the world of AI and Power BI development. Well, that leaves us with a good question. What is actually the bottleneck? The bottleneck is not creating the report anymore. This one will become obsolete for you probably. AI will be better at creating measures, at creating report, not now, but maybe in the next year or two. And your job is to verify. So the model will very confidently say, hey, this is your sales report. Here are the figures. This is what Q3 looked like. And it will be showing you these numbers with a high level of confidence. However, that's what I do. I need to verify each measure, each relationship, each table, each calculation. I need to verify and I need to understand what AI did in this case. So I'm very happy that when I started using Power BI, AI didn't exist. I learned everything from scratch, be it how to set up a star schema, creating measures, writing the right DAX functions, using variables, all these kinds of tricks. And I know exactly how it should look like in Power BI and what's actually possible or what not in Power BI. So this is very handy if you have started using Power BI early on. And this is why it's still handy to learn Power BI today. So you should be able to navigate through the desktop environment. You need to know the service. You need to know how things are working as a whole in order to verify the results of AI. If you don't know how Power BI works, how can you verify it? Okay, and one last thing where I think AI really is changing the way we work. It's not actually just building pretty charts or faster charts. It's actually having a whole design system in place where you feed it your standards when it comes to corporate design, language, business logic. If you put all of those things together, AI can be a superpower. And your job as a Power BI developer is not creating the reports, but guiding it. You are the orchestrator to tell AI, okay, this is what I need. This is what's looking good. This is from business standpoint what I need. And you need to be able to verify it. And once you can do that, I think AI will be your powerful co-pilot, assistant, whatever you name it, but it will not replace you. Okay, so where does it leave the Power BI developer? Well, like I said, it's more validating and less building. At least this is where I think we are heading. So my question for you is, where are you actually seeing AI changing your day-to-day work? And where may it still fall short? I would love to know. Let me know in the comment section. And if you think this video was helpful, please subscribe, make a comment, or simply leave a like on the video. I would appreciate it and it would help the channel a lot. If this kind of breakdown was useful to you, feel free to follow along. I'm sharing more of what I'm learning building with Power BI and Agentic development as I go. See you in the next video.